Alright folks, welcome back. Welcome back to another gear review. In this video, I'm going to be doing a quick review on the EYOYO underwater camera. I got this thing all set up. I got it all dialed in. You see my little jig over here on the side here. We're going to take some time and go over this camera. EYOYO did message me about a month and a half ago and wanted to know if I wanted to try that camera out. And I happened to be actually looking for cameras when they messaged me. So I was in the market, they messaged me, and I figured I'd do a quick review. So I have used this a few times, just poking around, getting used to the camera, the basic functions of it, so on and so forth. I can't say that I am a pro with underwater cameras. This is actually the first underwater camera I've ever used, so keep that in mind. But I got this unit all dialed in. We'll go through some basic features, functions of it, and I'll try my best to show you guys how the image quality looks. So far, I'm really impressed with it. Unfortunately, they didn't send me the unit that has the DVR function where I can just screen record right from the unit. So I'll have to show you guys either on my iPhone or the GoPro I'm recording with right now. And it looks like the iPhone will probably show it a little better than the GoPro. So we're gonna get right into it, folks. I'll give you guys a little walk around of the camera here, and maybe we'll find a fish or two while we're going through it. All right, so let's get right into this. So as you can see, this camera came with this nice hard case. I actually really like this. This is actually a really small unit. This is my hand. I mean, it's really small and compact. Nice hard case. You won't have to worry about that bouncing around in your jet sled or however you transport it. Let's see. We're going to start with the battery. It has a nice compact battery. This is a lithium battery. I believe they said this is supposed to last 6 to 8 hours, if I remember correctly. And all of these connections here are color-coded and marked. I'm not going to go through how to set this up because it's really super simple. All you do is go power to power, video to video, so on and so forth. Everything's marked and labeled, and it's pretty much color-coded. The line is wrapped on this little reel here. I believe this is the 30-foot spool, if I remember correctly. They have a 30, a 50, and I think a 75, but I think this is a 30. And I'll show you guys the actual camera itself. And this is what the camera looks like. I actually plan on painting this black. I don't plan on running this. It looks a little bright. I think the fish would be able to see that pretty easy down there. So I'm going to paint this black. And let's see. Yeah, you can see a bunch of LEDs. They look like they're pretty clear, you know, from what I've seen so far. This feels like a quality camera. It doesn't feel super cheap. It came with a couple of these rings so you can adjust the different angle of how this sits. I have it angled so it's pointing down towards the bottom a little more. But we're going to get this drop back down, and I'll show you guys the best I can how it looks on screen there. So the GoPro seems to be picking it up okay from this angle here. We are in about 11 feet of water, and that's a really good picture. And we don't have a lot of natural light out there today. I'll give you guys a quick shot of what we're working with. We don't have a lot of natural light. So these are the conditions we have today. Real foggy. Basically no natural sunlight coming through. And we're still getting that good of a picture on the camera. But if we had natural sunlight, I think it would, you know, just look even that much better. And for buttons, we have the power button. Hit the power button, it turns it on and off. Pretty simple there. You have your menu button here in the middle, and these plus or minuses will increase or decrease your brightness. And you can rotate the position of the camera. I don't really know why you would want to do that, but you can if you want to. This V1, V2, just a little bit of like a cropped image. You know, I like to run mine just standard here. But that's pretty much it for buttons. You know, really simple buttons. I mean, nothing crazy with the buttons. You can press this little button here and take this screen actually right out of this housing. I really can't foresee myself doing that, but it's there if you want to do it. And I want to talk about just an overall use of these cameras. Nothing specific to this EYOYO camera, but just underwater cameras in general. I highly, 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 highly recommend using a camera panner down here. These things are miserable. Again, not just a yo-yo. All of these are miserable. If you don't have a camera panner, it is almost impossible to take your line and turn these so you get a good picture of your jig. It's almost impossible. These camera panners, there's a ton of different types. This one actually happens to be wireless, and all you have to do is hit a button. See my jig there? All you have to do is hit a button, and it's slowly gonna pan that camera around. And my jig just went off screen. It's probably gonna settle back in, barely. Just a little tap of the button. We're gonna go right, and you can see my jig's coming into screen now. I'm gonna give it one more little tap, get it dialed right in. There you go. You can see my jig's right in the center. These camera panners are a must. It doesn't matter if you get a wireless one. They make super, super, super cheap ones that are like 10 bucks that you crank by hand. I highly recommend them. If you guys are getting a camera, I would also order one of them ASAP. I wouldn't even bother messing around doing it by hand. It'll just frustrate you and push you towards not wanting to use these. I tried it the first time out with a camera panner, and it was not fun trying to get that dialed in. I am super impressed with how this picture is. For a $140 camera, I am actually really surprised. I'm really impressed with the quality. I mean, we have terrible natural light out there, and it's still a beautiful picture. I think the LEDs will help. All right, well, actually, let's do a little test. I'm going to unplug the LEDs, and we're going to see if that makes a difference. Okay, a slight difference. I mean, it's not a huge difference. I don't know if you're picking that up on camera there. I mean, I can still see my jig, you know, clear as day. But when I plug the LEDs in, it's actually hard to say. I mean, certainly it's picking up stuff, you know, a little more right in front of the LEDs. It almost looks a little snowy. When I unplug them, actually, honestly, in shallow like this, I actually like it better with the LEDs off, honestly. We're going to hop out a little deeper and hopefully get a good shot of like 20 feet of water just to see how this looks down a little deeper. Still getting a little bit of a spin. I'm going to try to get this dialed right in so we can sit comfortably.
Nice.
There we go, we're in.
That is so cool.
We are in. That is actually pretty cool.
It might be off the camera now, I see it.
Yeah, it is. Just barely. We're still getting a little spinning down there. All right, I think you can see that, folks. That's down about 20 feet, and that's actually a pretty good picture, in my opinion.
Oh, fish right there. You see that?
Yeah, there is. Yep, perch. Yep, upper right. I don't know if you folks can see that. We've got a perch in the upper right cruising around. That is really cool.
Looks like there's a fish to the right. He might be coming into you.
Oh yeah, nice perch right there.
Come on, go at it. Go at it. Oh, looks like.
Oh, my jig. I lost my jig.
I see it. I see it. It's in the right.
I wonder if he bumped the camera.
Oh, could be.
Oh, looks like.
Come on, hit that. Hit that. Hit that.
Oh, you're above him.
There we go. Right in front of him. So we're going to wrap this video up here. Just to summarize real quick, I got to say I'm super impressed with the image quality of that camera. At only $140, I'm actually really surprised how good the quality is on screen. If it didn't look that good coming through the GoPro, it's just because of the double screen deal. It looks much better in person. So if you folks happen to be looking for a camera, you know, in that range, you know, $130, $40, $50 range, so far that has been a really good camera. I've had it out, I think 4 times. So I've poked around with it for a couple hours and it's worked fine so far. I do plan on using that camera more throughout the season. We're still early ice up here in Maine. The fishing I have done before this has all been super, super shallow, and it hasn't been really a good type of fishing to be using the camera like full time. But I do plan on doing a couple more videos, at least one throughout the rest of the season. But so far, guys, if you guys are interested in a camera or that specific one, it's a thumbs up from me. I'm really impressed with the quality. We're going to sign off for this one, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.